friends, welcome to another episode of Stefan's, in the meantime, totally crowded garage. Today we're gonna work on the police Mueller clutch device install and maybe some screaming eagle mufflers, so stay tuned. Let's do some garage Tetris. So I'll show you what I've done. I don't want to drain the fluids as the bike just has less than 100 miles. So later on we need to put it on the side stand that we can open the case here. And there's oil inside, and with the bike being upright we will lose about half a liter or half a quart of oil. Right now with this lean angle we should be fine. As I mentioned, we are going to install the Mueller Powerclutch 2.0. I'm absolutely convinced of this product, however it's quite difficult to get the right adjustment, and that's vital that you don't have any clutch slippage thereafter. And we need another gasket for the clutch mechanism cover on the other side, and hopefully we won't need any transmission fluid as we're not going to lose much. I'm going to tell you the strategy. First we need to open the primary cover in order to release the base adjustment of the clutch. For that the bike should be upright, otherwise we will lose primary fluid here. When it is released, I'm gonna close the primary again, because then we're gonna tilt the bike and change to the other side. Then I'm afraid we have to remove this case cover, and you see 4 screws are easily accessible, but 2 are down here and there's probably no way to reach them. So if you have a normal exhaust, that means no flap operated European exhaust, I would completely take it off. For that we have to remove the heat shields. To remove the heat shields we have to remove the right hand floorboard and then the complete exhaust in order to reach all 6 of those screws. And then of course we have to remove the clutch cable adjuster and replace it by the Mueller power adjuster. That's enough just to have it upright. Then of course we're gonna secure it for further. So let's prepare paper rack to rest the clutch inspection cover. It's a T27, and on these tiny screws with the aluminum threads, I'm not working with power tools, just by hand with a lot of feel. Before taking off the last one, secure the primary cover with your hand, get it out, and then let it rest. This rubber seal is reusable, so we just lay it down. Now we have to release the base adjustment to have as much slack in the cable as possible. Shouldn't be too tight. Just release the nut. That's it. And turn the clutch adjuster counterclockwise that you have as much play as possible. So now the clutch mechanism is released. We are going to reinstall the cover, because now we're going to tilt the bike, and then we don't want primary oil running out of this open hole. Just finger tight that the rubber seal is seated and we are not losing primary oil. Okay, now we will lower the bike again, or lower, in order to have it tilted. And now next, with the preparation on the other side. I changed the plan a little bit. I put the bike upright again, secured it, now lifted the big lift in order to have a better working position. First for the floorboard. Those bolts are extremely tight and with Loctite to make sure that you never lose a floorboard. Hopefully I didn't strip the bolt. Yes, I did. Be careful with those very soft bolts not to strip them. Strip the head as I did. So the old trick using a Torx and a hammer, warming it up, was successful, but of course we have to replace this bolt. So it looks like I don't have a replacement bolt, so I need to get a new one, but nevertheless we continue to loosen, to remove the heat shields and thereafter the exhaust. Next I'm going to remove the mufflers, as I'm going to change them anyway. The big clamp is a 1932. And the saddleback rail screws are 1/2 inch. European spec mufflers are harder to remove because here's a seal, which the US spec don't have. And we don't want to damage the the gasket, to be precise. Copy paste on the other side. Now we continue. We remove the cross member bracket, 1/2 inch, but they have to use a shorter socket. I would love to hear the sound now. And as the European spec have a second oxygen sensor, we have to disconnect that. Now we're going to remove the, what is it? Krümmerschrauben. Put in the comment sections what Krümmerschrauben is. And the last one. We still have the front oxygen sensor cable, which is here and here. So we need to see that we can rest the exhaust manifold without putting too much tension on the cable of the oxygen sensors. Perfect, you just need to remove the brake pedal and everything is fine. I tell you what, we leave it like it is because we have perfect access now to the mentioned cover. The only thing left to do is to put the cable out of this clip and the clip down here, and then disconnect the cable up here. So we first remove the clip down here. Then we will open the silly plastic adjuster. So we push in the red tabs here. it's gone, we don't need it anyway. Then we are going to release those tabs down here. We are not using this plastic stuff, so we don't need to be gentle. Lift the safety tab here and then just bend it up, and then with a little plier we can release the lower clutch cable. Next word we need to learn is Spitzzange. So just gently lift the lower clutch cable and try to get it out of this mechanism. It's not gonna work. So we collapse the plastic and then we have enough room. Just going to eat it up. Sure not to damage the thread of the clutch cable. Careful and slowly eat your way through the plastic. Finally, okay, it was just a matter of technique. Now finally we can throw away those plastic parts, and now we can continue. Now let's finally continue with what we have been waiting for. That's a 3/16 Allen. Oh, the top ones are shorter on the pre-24 models. Now there might be a little bit of oil dripping. Yeah. So we're gonna remove the old gasket, which is replaced. And then with the safety glasses we are going to remove the clip holding the clutch ramps. And then we can take off the upper ramp. Those 3 ball bearing balls will be reused. And then we can remove the lower ramp. So the Müller Powerclutch has a different design of the ramps, different angles, and they are closer to the pivot point, therefore achieving the lighter clutch. I put in the lower ramp. Note the groove needs to fit in here. make sure that none of those ball bearing balls are falling out. We might add some grease to keep them in position, but we should be fine. Should, as I said. Insert and secure the upper ramp, and now it's very important not to miss the correct position by 120 degrees. Now hold it in place and carefully reinsert the security clip and make sure that it's seated all the way in that groove. Not yet. Yeah, now it is seated here and here. Okay, finally we clean the surface for the new gasket. And we install the new gasket. Remember, shorter ones in the top. And now we're going to torque them down with 15 Newton meters in a crisscross pattern. Okay, now we have to install the power adjuster. 2 pieces. There's no way to mix them up, they just fit in one direction. So make sure that this thread is fully down. Feed in the upper clutch cable and slightly tilt it that you're not going to lose it. And now the lower one. And now we have to grab the head of the lower clutch cable with a small Spitzzange, fine set of fine pliers, and put it back into the groove. That was first time today perfect. And then we bend down the security tab to prevent it from getting out of this connecting device. That was really quick. And now the bike is upright again. We are going to head to the other side to do the base adjustment and then continue here with the clutch lever adjustment. Bike is upright again, so that we are not spilling fluid out of this opening. A little bit of fluid is here on the inside of the cover. Okay, now we want to screw the adjuster screw in until it is lightly seated. Let's make it this way to demonstrate it. Okay, here it's starting to get seated, and then we open it half a turn, lightly secure it, because we need to pull the clutch a couple of times and maybe redo this base adjustment as well a couple of times. I've increased the cable tension a little bit. I will show it later on when we do the fine adjustment. And now let's pull the clutch. So once again we do the base adjustment. Find the way where this screw is seated. Yeah, here it's starting to get seated. And from this position, half a turn. Harley recommends half till 1 full turn. Müller recommends a quarter till half turn. So I go for a quarter, and then there's definitely a torque spec for the locking nut, but we are just going to lock it. Yeah, still some play. Checking the lever. And now I will bring you up here. We are going to adjust the play of the upper cable clutch base adjustment, and cable play adjustment has been done. I repeated it 3 times in order to make sure that everything is seated. Now I just need to lock this upper part down to the lower part with a 15 mil or an adjustable open wrench, and then slide back the cover, and then we are done on this side. Now we can finally close the primary cover or derby cover. I'm not using power tools on this one. I'm already stripping bolts without power. Torque spec is very little, only 10 Newton meters, but I prefer to just make them hand tight to make sure that the rubber gasket is seated. I don't know if I mentioned it, 10 Newton meters would be the spec. Okay, now clean everything up, reassemble it, find a new bolt for the floorboard, and good for the test ride. Finally, everything is back together, cleaned, and what a surprise! We have some new mufflers, Screaming Eagle mufflers, of course European emissions. Let's see how they sound compared to the stock one. And here as well, everything is sealed. The broken bolt is replaced and ready for the test drive. See how it works. Sorry for the really quick ending, but look at the weather. I want to go riding. Thanks for watching. See you soon.